All right, everybody, Smellyfingernail here with a portfolio update. We are at basically the exact same number as the mid-August update, 950, 960K. Now, the thing is, this would be higher if not for two things. First of all, I had to withdraw $30,000 to pay off a house. Now, like, if you're thinking, oh, wow, I'm paying off a house, so fancy. No, I'm not paying off my house. I'm paying off the house that I previously sold, in which I took a massive loss on. Like, you buy the house with down payment, right? Then you pay off a bunch of months, and then you sell it. Like, I sold it under the asking, and then after all the fees, I had to pay $30,000. So that's why I had to withdraw the 30,000. This number would be 30,000 higher if not for that. So I mean, we're up a little bit, but the number is the same. Yeah, what sort of scam is this? First off, I can't even collect capital gains losses on attack. So like, apparently, if you have a house, right, and then you sell it for below what you bought it for, and like all the fees and stuff, this is not a tax deductible loss. Apparently, because if I lived in the house, so like it's like a personal use item, and I can't deduct the loss. I'm just out 30K. So like when I'm up, so like look at this year to date gain, right? It's a 640,000 year to date. I did pay taxes on all of this because this is all short term capital gains, and then I had to withdraw the 30K to take a 30K loss, and I can't deduct that against my taxes. What a pain in the ass. Anyways. Okay, so we got that. Also, I completely pussied out on a bunch of things that would have made me a bunch of money on. A couple of videos ago, I opened up a Robinhood call in here, dated sometime in October, I believe. I sold that for a loss earlier in the week. That would have continued to go up, so that was a massive fail. Otherwise, I moved duration outward. So, like, if I had any short duration calls, I moved them out a few months. So that was also not good. Like, if I kept those on, then I would be back above 1 million now. But yeah, I mean, let's see. The highs recently was 1.6. Now it's gonna show as 1.3 here because I withdrew the 30K, right? So like when you withdraw the money, then Robinhood just subtracts it, and it's like you never had. That's why when you look at the all-time list, my total gains is more than the current money I have. It's because I had to withdraw money to pay taxes and all the other stuff. So we have that. Let's see. My portfolio at this point is two stocks. It's Nvidia and it's SpaceX. And like really, like these are like in the medium to long term, Nvidia and SpaceX or SpaceX and Nvidia are literally going to be like Weyland Yutani from Alien. Like they're going to be the same company. Like trust. Like if you imagine that we're in a regime where most compute is going to be orbital. This is obviously not anytime soon, but like in the 2030s or sooner if the singularity hits. Then like the only customer in orbit is going to be SpaceX, right? So Nvidia is going to go directly into SpaceX, and it's going to be like this big old triangle, but it's not going to be a pyramid scheme. You understand me? All right. So anyways, it's all Nvidia here in my portfolio, dated into the November, December 210, 220 calls. I have them going out into January of 2027, also 200, 210 calls. And then all my SpaceX stuff. I have one short-term SpaceX thing expiring Friday. We're going to collect some money here finally. SpaceX has been printing lately. All my SpaceX options positions have been up and to the right, and I still have these. You know, the big old long shot lottery plays. These are the 290, 300. This is the If you read the Reddit post, this is the bet 100,000 to make a million. That's this play, right? So we bought these for $1 a piece, and they could get to $10 if SpaceX was 300 by January of 2028. So we're holding on to those. Those are the lottery tickets, but then we have a more reasonable one here, which I entered into recently. 200 contracts of the 140, 150 calls. These are bought for around $3.60. So these can basically, this will triple. This will 3x if SpaceX is above 150. September of 2027, which is, in my estimation, a sure bet because I really think SpaceX is going to enter the S&P 500 September 3rd, 2027. So this is timed so that there's a nice little pump. There's going to be the S&P 500 inclusion pump going into this. if you take a look at the calendar for when SpaceX can be included, that's like the earliest date it could be included if it weren't included like in an out of band inclusion. This is because you need to be public for a year, and then you need to be profitable trailing 12 months, and they're going to be profitable. I mean, even in Q3, they're going to be profitable this year. So I'm pretty confident in these. These are going to be a triple, I have to imagine. Besides that, oh shit, there's a bunch of wind. Ignore that. Let's see what else we got going on. Dude, we got these medicals. They're still up. I put 50K into these medicals expiring into January. I think I expanded a bit on this last portfolio update. But like, dude, like imagine being like a Meta shareholder. That's gotta be the worst feeling in the world. Luckily, like these are still looking good and they settled it. But like you have this company with like an amazing business, right? So like you have a product that people want to use, and then it just turns out that whenever any sort of city government or state government, federal government, your local park, let's say your random school district, your HOA, like whenever anybody decides to need any sort of money, they'll just say, hey, why don't we sue Mark Zuckerberg? So like they're always the subject of these various lawsuits. That's why it's been down recently. They settled it, but you have to imagine there's more to come, right? So whenever your business makes money, then you get sued. That's what Meta has going on. So I mean, luckily these are 525.50. So and if the worst of the particular lawsuits that are going on right now have already been settled, and Meta's at 570, then it's looking pretty smooth for this 525.50 call spread to finish at max profit. I'm imagining. But you can't even hang your hat on that either, because you can wake up tomorrow and there's going to be 50 new lawsuits. So that's why I don't really hold Meta as like a long-term thing. Right now the PE is just too attractive, but yeah, that's why you have to be in something more like a Nvidia here. Nvidia doesn't get sued, right? They make their GPUs and they sell their GPUs, and like if you think about how you're going to sue them, like Meta, like really Meta shouldn't be sued, right? They have this product that people like using, and then like, oh, people like using it too much and it's addictive. Like, so what? What does that have to do with Meta? They have a good product. Like it's addictive. Get some like willpower here, people. Anyways, so yeah, we have some Meta calls. Everything else is Nvidia and SpaceX. I don't even think I have any other place going on. Maybe some Micron. These Micron calls here are like barely anything. They're like 17K. They're about break even, 900, 930. The reason I even have them in the first place was because in the previous quarter, they were around like 1,000. They reported, and people liked the earnings. It pumped up to 1,100 or so, and now they're at 900. So, I mean, if they do just as well, then will they be above 930 by November? Like, I estimate probably. That's a pretty good guess. I also have ones. These ones I bought a long ass time ago. That's why they're so in the money here. These 600, 630, they're 85% of the profit. We'll just let that one go all the way to the expiry, because I mean, is Micron going to go below 600 in June of next year? No. What's the other one I bought? I have another one expiring January, 900, 930s as well. These are probably two earnings reports in the future. Like they're going to report they're a Q2, and then they're going to report Q3. The Q1s are not going to be in. The Q4 is not going to be in. But if as long as they keep making more money and the PE keeps drifting lower, you have some room here at the 930. So that's why I have that. And that's pretty much my whole portfolio. Everything here is allocated. So we have 950K portfolio value, and the amount of cash I have, if this thing will load correctly. I guess it doesn't want to load. It's not this. This is out of date. Here we go. It's 12K. So like I have 12K cash out of a 950K portfolio, and everything else is in the option spread, and there's no downward hedging. So we're all bulled up again. Luckily, we're not hedged in any way. Remember earlier when I first started making these portfolio update videos, I was short Bitcoin via short MicroStrategy. Luckily, we got out of that because that one just skyrocketed. Whether or not we're going to go back into that, maybe. Because I think this one went up because people were like, hey, maybe this AI trade is long in the tooth. Is that the saying? But I don't think. I mean, I think the Nvidia earnings that just came out yesterday reset everything, and now we're all going to be bulled up again on AI. Um, September, we're looking at Fable 5.1 and Astra from OpenAI, and as long as there are new capabilities that the old models can't do, then you expand the total addressable market of AI as a whole, and you get into another hype cycle. Like if you're just doing incremental improvements, then you're going to bleed your money over to the Chinese open source models. So we're looking for real capability improvements in GPT-6, which I think is looking good. Now, if you come over here and you say, hey, if it's really good, then why did like a million people from OpenAI quit? And I don't know, dude. I don't know. that's a good argument, but they could just be quitting because they make too much money, and they're like, screw it. Well, I'm gonna go drink a margarita on the beach, and that could be why they quit. So I'm estimating once they release that product, if it's good, then more hype cycle ahead of us. I mean, just the revenue guide from Nvidia is already putting the hype cycle really back into hyperdrive. So feeling good. 950K would be 980K if not for the fact that I sold my house for a loss. But it is what it is. Now, why didn't the housing price go down? Like, I must be like one of the first people to lose money on housing in the United States, dude. I think it's because Trump deported everybody and now demand is down. It is what it is. Yeah, I'll see you probably sometime in early September for another portfolio update. Other than that, we got weekly episodes of the SpaceX Bag Holder podcast. Make sure to check Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and that's it. All right, bye-bye.